by Shy, back with another motherfucking video. Today we're gonna be talking about something different. So, what triggered this is actually, if y'all didn't know, well, y'all probably don't know because I never said it. I work in hospitality, so I've been working in hospitality for a little over 2 years, I believe. Yeah, it has to be a little over 2 years. In different locations. I've only been at 3 different locations. I'm not gonna name any hotel, nothing like that. I might do a little story time with my bullshit ass manager for my first hospitality job, but I don't know when I will do that. I don't know. I'm really not trying to. I'll probably do it, but I'm obviously gonna, modify the ages, the times, the places, the names, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. Don't hold your breath. But today we're gonna talk about the do's and don'ts when you're checking into a hotel, because it just seems like a lot of y'all don't understand basic shit. And it really doesn't make any sense how y'all don't get it. Which, some shit, I can't even hold you. You're not even gonna know unless you have worked in hospitality. I definitely get that. But a lot of this shit is in the fine print when you make a reservation. So, I don't know. I don't know if y'all just, you're booking it, you think you're good, whatever, cool. It's probably best if you read, because a lot of the questions that y'all be having, y'all literally can read. And not for nothing, I know during this video I'm probably like, oh, this is your job, da da da, this is da da. I get it, I understand it, but to make you and my life easier, this is just gonna be a do's and don'ts kind of video. These are just common things that I see people doing, so I'm just really gonna be speaking on that and my experience while working in hospitality. If my hands are ashy, bitch, ignore it. But yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna go in a specific order, but yeah, do's and don'ts when you're checking into a hotel. A lot of the time hotels don't really price match like that, because for one, they're trying to make money, and for if you're doing it through a third party, they're gonna have way cheaper rates. So if you call the hotel saying that you've seen the price here on Priceline or Expedia or something like that, you're literally gonna be calling for no reason, because we're more than likely, I have never seen it, but they could probably do something for you, but it's more than likely going to be like a little 10% discount, not much. So if you're looking for a cheaper rate at a hotel, please do it through a third party. Also, when you do it through a third party, for the most part, third parties are prepaid reservations. So you're all set. You just gotta check in, and do the regular process with your ID and everything like that. But for some reservations, you're only just reserving it for that price. So you're paying at the hotel, but you're reserving it for that price through a third party. If you're doing it directly through the hotel, you should be all set. Another thing with the prices do vary. So if somebody books something a month or so ahead of time, they're booking for those prices that they seen a month ago. If you're just not coming up and you're booking it a day or so in advance or whatever, it's gonna be different, because prices vary literally every day in the hotel. So it's not gonna be one straight price literally all year round. It varies. For the most part, from what I've seen though, for most hotels, during the week is where you'll have the lower prices, and on the weekend is where you're gonna have the higher prices, because a lot of people come in, people party, people do stuff like that. So it's gonna be more, it's a lot more traffic. So that's why they raise their prices. But yeah, don't come and be like, oh, why this person getting this rate and I'm getting this rate. Rates vary every day, guys. And I'm pretty sure when you look at dates, you can see it varies depending on when you're looking at it. Like if you're sitting there waiting to book a hotel, if you don't know what you're doing and you go back and you keep looking and looking and looking, it's gonna be different prices for the most part. So yeah, if you ever had any confusion about that, that's why the rates vary. I'm not gonna say all, but for the most part, I've seen senior discounts, military discounts, AAA discounts. I don't know why I said AAA, AAA discounts. But obviously you have to show some type of form of identification. You can't just say you're this because they're going to ask for that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think it's too much. It's literally like the taxes. I mean, every penny counts. Do what you got to do. But it's not going to be much. It's really not. People will call and ask me a ass load of fucking questions that are literally stated on the website. Whether, what's checkout time, breakfast, what is included at the hotel if they have, the setup of the room will literally be on the website, and y'all will call and ask what the room is like. The photo of the room is literally on the website. What the fuck? Like, why do y'all do that? I don't understand why y'all do that. And on top of that, the room that you're booking, it lists off everything that's in the room. So if you're gonna call me and be like, yeah, do you guys have this and this and that, da da da, if it's not stated on the website, we don't have it. More than likely, we do not have it. Dead ass. And I don't understand why y'all call and ask that same ass shit. Y'all ask the same questions. Like, now granted, again, a lot of people don't read. A lot of people don't do that. Whatever the case may be, you rather go to you feel better going to the hotel employee and asking them directly. Cool. But you're literally wasting time. You're literally wasting time because it's literally on the website. I swear to God. I think that's about it for the prices. So when you're booking, be aware of that. Also, for the most part, you'll see in the fine print that check-in time is at 3 p.m. If you plan on trying to check in early, or you get to somewhere you're traveling, you get somewhere a day early or something like that, please make sure that you call the hotel ahead of time, because this is what happens. This is the difference with third parties and when you're booking directly through the site. If you book it directly through the site, you should be all set, and they should be able to make modifications and stuff like that through the system because you're booking directly through them. Now, if you book directly through a third party, that's going to be an issue, because when you're booking through a third party, it's only covering that stay. You can't change anything in the system because, again, like I said, prices vary. So once you're going outside of the price that the third party is setting for you, that's going to change in our system to the regular rate, and you don't want to pay the regular rate, right? So if you do plan on coming in early, just try to check the day of and see what you can do. Or if you do come in early, try to take the hotel and call them, see what you can do. But for the most part, with third party reservations, it's kind of tricky because we literally can't do anything, because you're not paying us directly. You're literally paying that third party. We only get a fraction of what you're paying. If there's any confusing parts to any of this, just like I said, ask the question. With the third party, they're literally the middleman. We only get a fraction of it. And yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to read the fine print with the third party, because they can have different policies than the actual hotel. So I don't want you to show up at the hotel and then it's a whole debacle, blah blah blah. But yeah, third parties are tricky. But yeah, for booking, those are the couple of things that you can and shouldn't do. So when you do arrive at the hotel, right? Because 3 p.m. is the starting time for check-in time, right? 3 p.m. all the way up until, I'm going to say, because there's 3 shifts. There's 7 to 3, 3 to 11, and then 11 to 7, which I've mostly worked. I've worked other shifts, but I like working the night shifts. I know there's this thing where people feel like, you book a room, that room should be booked or whatever until whatever you get there. Cool. I understand that. I get that. But us as employees, there are certain things that we have to do within the system and certain things that need to be turned over to the next day. So that's meaning, like, there's things like advance deposits. There's things like if you wanted an early check-in, it all would be based on availability. Like, if we're booked up from yesterday and you try to come in earlier, more than likely you're not going to be able to get that room, because of the fact that housekeepers usually don't come in until probably like 8 or something, and checkout time is not until 12. So you can kind of see how that goes. The rooms are not going to be available because the housekeepers didn't get to the rooms to be able to clean them. So you can be able to check in, But again, something might come up. call the front desk ahead of time. Let them know, hey, I should be arriving around this time. Is there a way that my room can be ready earlier in the day, or blah blah blah. Now, some hotels, they do charge an extra fee for early check-in. You just gotta make sure that you ask. And again, they're gonna tell you it's based on availability. So just call the day of, see what you can do. For the most part, unless they're sold out, for the most part they should have a room that's available for you. But if not, they'll obviously let you know, and then you would just have to wait for the room to be clean. Also, when checking in, now the checking in process should be very basic. You give me your ID, you give me your method of payment. I do everything on my end, give you your keys, give you all the other information, and you get the fuck out my face. That's how it should be, right? Quick, easy process, no hassle, no nothing. If you're booking a reservation for somebody else, right? Meaning you booked the reservation, but somebody else is checking in under your name, right? You have to either make the reservation and put their name on it. If you're traveling with them, it should be fine because you're right there and it's under your name. You could just check in. But for the most part, if you're not attaching their name to the reservation, like splitting the reservation or anything like that, they're not gonna be able to check in. So I'm gonna need you to check that. Listen, again, you could say anything. Let that person know that you checked them in under your name or whatever, so they don't show up at the hotel and it's a whole thing and then they have to call you or whatever. Because for the most part, if somebody is checking in under your name, like say if they're using your benefits or something, because a lot of hotels have membership programs, if they're checking in under your benefits, they would literally have to call you, and you would have to confirm with the employee, or you would have to call the hotel and confirm everything on the reservation, so they can be able to check that person in, and they would have to attach the name to the reservation. So to avoid all of that, if you are making a reservation for somebody else, say you're trying to surprise them or whatever the case may be, put their name on the reservation, please. Put it on the reservation. Or if you're going to be checking them in, come in and check them in or whatever, because it's a hassle. And I know, you know, a lot of people come in late and they'll be like, oh, well, they're sleeping or whatever the case may be. We literally can't do anything in that situation. We literally cannot. Like, it is what it is. Just a whole nother person's name on the reservation. You could say anything. Like, you know, so to avoid that, please attach the person's name onto the reservation. Or call the hotel ahead of time, confirm everything, and have them attach it. Either way, something that lets us know that they're going to be checking in under your name. Cool, cool. So yeah, with the credit card authorization, that could be sent over to the hotel. It could be faxed over, emailed, whatever the case may be. I feel like for the most part, they will ask, you obviously have to fill out the form, but they'll ask for, you know, a copy of your ID front and back, and a copy of your card front and back. Again, make sure everything matches, make sure, you know, you say who you say you are. But yeah, that's just proper protocol. Again, literally. It's our job. We got to do our job at the end of the day. We're not trying to make your lives harder. We're literally just trying to do our job, period. Another thing that I see a lot of people doing. You'd be like,
oh, I've never had to pay incidentals before.
Wow, why is this so much? Or
I've stayed at plenty of hotels before. They never had incidentals.
honey, they did. They probably did. You probably didn't notice, or you probably wasn't paying attention. But even then, what the fuck does that have to do with what I'm doing right now when I'm checking you in? I don't get it. What was that supposed to magically make me be like, you know, oh, okay, since you didn't do that at any other hotel, I'm just not gonna charge you. No. A lot of the time, 9 times out of 10, hotels take incidentals. So if you come, it all depends. Some may be more, some may be less. I know at the location I'm working at now, you know, it's $100, but it's $100 right at the beginning, and you get it back obviously once you depart. Other places might be $200. It all depends, and they might break it up in increments. Like some of them might do a certain amount each day for however long you stay. It all depends on what hotel you're going to. I don't think you understand. We can't even do certain shit in the system. Like, even if we wanted to help you with certain situations, we couldn't even do it because the system would not allow it to. I don't get it. Like, why do y'all, like, what is that telling me? Like, what is that telling me? That's like in retail, somebody coming up to you.
Oh, well, somebody did it for me last time.
Okay, well, you're here with me today. That doesn't mean anything to me. You're still gonna get charged, ma'am. I don't know what to tell you. Incidentals is basically covering anything that has to do with like room damages, or like, you know, if you want to put something on your room, like say if you purchase something from the market and you be like, oh, put it on my room. That's being taken out of it too. If you have a Cash App card or you're using a Cash App card, it's gonna take way longer than a regular bank card. So if you're planning on using a Cash App card, just be ready for that. Don't call ring our phone down about some
Where's my incidentals?
because once we release it, it is up to you, your bank, and God. So we got the incidentals down. We got the different method of payments, whether it be third party or directly to the hotel. We got the, take your motherfucking ID out your wallet. Please. The fuck. Make it simple as shit. That's it. That's all you gotta do. When you do check in, I would ask the front desk person, is there a good or bad side of the hotel? Because sometimes you have hotels that are next to police stations, highways, train tracks, whatever the case may be. And that noise, as we know, it happens. Train tracks you can't control. Noise on a highway you cannot control. The only thing that you can control is, where you're placed. So, to avoid any of that, you lose sleep and stuff like that. Because, again, us as hotel workers, we cannot control that. But we can control where we put you if we have it available. So, I would ask upon check-in or even before that. Listen, or you could even put it in the request when you're making your reservation. Put me at a quiet side of the building. Literally. Or if you have a floor preference, if you want to be on a higher floor, put that in the request as well. If you want to be on a lower floor, put that in the request as well. So, all of that could be avoided. Because for the most part, we know what sides are good and what sides are bad. Now, I will say, with the memberships, we do try to do more for people that are members. Because, obviously, they're entered into that. They most likely spend a good amount of the year traveling, whether it's business or whatever the case may be, so they get those benefits. They earn those benefits, whether it be, free stuff at the market or late checkout or free enhanced Wi-Fi or anything like that. They've earned that. So for the most part, we do try to do more for the people that are higher in status with the membership before we do with regular people. Not to say that we don't try our best with everybody, but we prioritize them more because obviously they're members. And like I just said, they travel a good amount of time. They've earned those points and stuff like that. So, it all depends. Now, like, in the case, you say something, you just don't like your room or something, you want to be upgraded, or you just ask, can you be upgraded, or whatever the case may be. If we're saving that room for somebody that's a higher status member, or we upgrade, because my last hotel, higher status members would get free upgrades and everything. If we have to upgrade that room, we will upgrade that room for them before we do it for you. Because if you're not a member, it all depends on availability. Same thing with late checkout. It all depends on availability. Same thing with early check-in. It all depends on availability. So you really would just have to act. So if you're at the hotel, obviously because of COVID, I know for the most part, housekeeping situation, if you don't want the housekeeping to come in or anything like that, for the most part they'll have the do not disturb signs so you can put on your door and stuff like that, so you can let housekeeping know. I don't know how most places are with COVID going on. I know at my last hotel we didn't go inside the rooms unless somebody asked for service, but other hotels might be different. If you need anything, sheets, pillowcases, anything like that, most likely they'll have it. Me personally, I would say ask for a new set of sheets when you get there, because sometimes rooms will be cleaned and somebody won't check into a room for who knows how the fuck long. You know what I mean? Not to say that the room is dirty or whatever, but it's not like housekeeping is going back into the room that they already cleaned every single day to, do shit like that. It's clean, it's ready to be checked into. But, feel me, we don't know how long. You know what I mean? And nobody's utilizing that room. It could be dust, it could be anything, like everyday shit. Just like how at your house, if you don't, you know, sleep or something for a long ass time, anything can collect, whatever. But I've been at a ghetto ass hotel where I've had to literally do laundry, and when I tell you, it's been like, the sheets will be clean, but there's certain things or liquids that get onto the sheets that won't really be able to get out. So we did have a process where we would have to put this liquid on it or whatever, wash it a couple times, dry it, whatever, and it will still have that stain, but it would be clean. So if you do run into that, for the most part, if it's like wrinkled or something, I know that the look of it kind of looks dirty, but for the most part, it'll be clean. You know what I mean? And I'm not to say that it's every hotel. To avoid that, if it looks kind of funny, I would just request new sheets and stuff like that, just to avoid that whole thing. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's dirty. So another thing I'm going to talk about is my shift. So I am the night audit. My job specifically is to turn the system over into the next day and get everybody prepared for the next day. So say it's the 5th, right? The 5th will go all the way up until the night audit is done. For the most part, the night audit will probably be done around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, right? I have to bring it over into the next day. So you have up until then to check into your reservation. If you feel like you're going to be late, say if you went out to the club or whatever, y'all not going to be back to a certain time. I would say, to be honest, to check in earlier that day, instead of trying to check in later that night after the club, check in earlier to that day so everything is set or whatever. Or you can call ahead of time, let the hotel know. They could probably, depending on how their hotel works, they could probably check you in. So when you arrive, all they have to do is get, you know, your ID, incidental card, and get you your keys. I know with certain hotels, I know at this hotel, if somebody is a member, they can check in online, and then, or like, they can get a mobile key, but they would still have to come to the front desk and, like, you know, verify everything. There's stuff like that that can happen. For the most part, you literally have up until 2 in the morning. So again, if you feel like you're going to be late, or you feel like you're not going to be there around that time, or whatever the case may be, or you want to confirm, you know, that whole process, call ahead of time. So regardless of if it's like L11, when the last shift had just left or whatever, so they can tell me, the night auditor, what's going to go down. So I'm able to either, some hotels, you're able to start the audit when you can, or when you want to. I'm not going to say when you want to, but you can start the audit a little bit later. You can postpone it until that person comes in. Or you can check that person in before the audit goes. So when they come in, they don't have to worry about that. If you're booked for like a week or something like that, that's another thing too. Because if you don't come on that initial day that you were supposed to check in, they'll probably give you a day. But for the most part, some hotels, they'll straight just cancel the shit. So once that reservation is canceled, once if the night audit goes and processed and is flipped over to the next day, your shit is canceled. That's it. Some hotels you'll be able to reinstate it, meaning you can make the reservation active again. But for the most part, for the hotels I worked at, you're not able to reinstate that shit. So that would mean you would come into the hotel pissed, and you would have to make another reservation. Like, there's nothing else I could do for you at that point, because you didn't let the hotel know, whatever the case may be. Like I said before, I understand that people feel like, you know, I reserved a room, I should be able to come in, or whatever the case may be. I get that, but we as employees also have a job to do. That's one of the main things that I have to do on my, you know, my shift, and I have to do it at a certain point. I'm not gonna be able to call y'all, and I wouldn't even call y'all on my shift anyway because it's late. You know, I'm not trying to upset anybody by calling them at 12 o'clock at night like, hey, you still coming? I'm not gonna do that. So to avoid any of that, either check in earlier, call the hotel and try to check in, you know, by confirming everything or something. Because listen, when I tell you, it hasn't been a lot of cases, but there have been cases where people have came in after I'm literally done with the audit, literally like 5 minutes after I'm done with the audit, and they'll come in. I'll even get a little extra time if I see that there's like obviously more arrivals to come in. I'll even give it a little more time, They don't come in, I'm running that audit. And I'm flipping it over to the next day. I'm not waiting until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I cannot do that. And I'm not putting my job on the line for y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all don't call ahead of time and let us know, or whatever the case may be. I'm flipping that fucking day over. That's just it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm doing my job. So, yeah, for the most part, that's how they not audit is. So that's basically just auditing the whole system and turning it over to the next day. Meaning, if you're not there on the day that you initially are supposed to arrive, that shit is gonna fucking cancel. Some places you might be able to reinstate it. Other places you might not. You might not be able to do it. And I've worked at sites that do both. So yeah, just make sure you call ahead of time. Again, let them know. If you're not sure exactly when you're gonna check in, try to check in then. So you're all set, and all you gotta do is come to the front desk and confirm everything, and then you can get your keys and go the fuck up to your room. That's it. With third parties, again, you did it through that third party. So if you did it directly through us, for the most part, hotels have 24-hour cancellation policies. So if you cancel within 24 hours, you can get your full refund. If you try to cancel the day of, it's not happening. You're not getting your money back at all whatsoever. I'm telling y'all that now. Y'all are not getting your money back at all. So please read the fine print, because it says it in there too. And they'll even tell you when they send you the confirmation email. There's a 24-hour grace period. Try to cancel, put a reminder on your phone or something. I don't know. If you need to cancel for any reason, please. Because once that 24-hour grace period is up, you're not getting your money back. And that's for any amount of stay. When it does go through with a night audit though, they don't charge you for your entire stay. Some people might, like if you're staying for like a day or so, you're only going to get charged. Some people might charge you for your whole stay. Depending on how you did it. Like it might be partially charged with Expedia. I think they charge the whole thing, or any third party website. But yeah, you're not getting that shit back. But going back to what I was saying, if you did it through a third party, and you just didn't end up showing up, you have to contact that third party, depending on how you did it. Like if you reserved it but you didn't pay, meaning you were gonna pay at the hotel, I believe we can cancel it because you're paying the hotel directly. But if it's one of those things that are prepaid and you paid Expedia, you have to call that third party. Like I'm just using Expedia as an example, but any third party you book through, Booking, Expedia, Priceline, any of that, you would have to call them. Do not call the hotel. Don't show up at the hotel acting belligerent, crazy. That's not gonna get you any help, and you're gonna be upset. You contact them. They have to contact us, and we would either tell them yes or no. So it all depends on your attitudes too. If something like this happens, or anything else that I've mentioned thus far happens, and your attitude is crazy, listen. We be trying to do everything that we need to do to help you. That's within, our guidelines as employees. But if you have a shitty attitude, we're not going to want to fucking help you. And it's just going to be strictly, it is what it is. But for the most part, you're not, if you have a third party, you're not going to get that shit back. If you do it directly to us and you didn't do, the 24-hour cancellation policy period, you're not getting your money back. If you're in a room, because some people are like, some hotels, if you use the room and you were dissatisfied regardless of what it was, some hotels might give you that refund back. Other hotels might be like, well, you already used the room, so no, you're not getting your refund. It all depends. Like I said, it all depends. If you're at the hotel, please do not wait until 3 o'clock in the fucking morning to be like, oh, well, I didn't say it to you guys earlier, but my heat isn't working. Why didn't you say it at 3 p.m. when you checked in? Like, I don't be understanding y'all. And this happens so many times. With certain hotels, the last hotel that I worked at, they had a control room. I'll be able to do something about it. Other things like your sink is broken or whatever, for the most part, engineers and shit like that, housekeepers, they be fucking gone. I'm there by myself. Night auditors are there by themselves. And technically, we are the stand-in supervisor. So, I'm not gonna be able to clean your sheets. I can bring you up new sheets, but I'm not gonna be able to clean your room or nothing like that at 11 something at night. I'm not gonna be able to fix nothing that happened with your sink, your tub, your toilet, none of that. The only thing I can really offer to do is move you. And feel me, if you've been there for a while and you have all your shit in your room, there's nothing I can really do about that. You're either gonna have to wait until somebody comes in the next morning, or I don't know. I don't know. That whole demanding a refund thing, yes, we are stand-in supervisors, but we only have enough authority to do certain things like that. We don't have authority to issue you refunds or anything like that. Even with adjustments, that's iffy. Because, again, management will be like, oh, well, why did da-da-da-da-da? It'll be a whole thing. I'd just rather avoid it altogether. I think the last thing that I'm going to talk about is parties at a hotel. Now you know. You go to a hotel, you know you're not supposed to party, you know that shit gonna be shut down at 2.2. You know you're not supposed to smoke. Some hotels do have smoking rooms. For the most part, a lot of the hotels that I've worked at are non-smoking, no smoking in the rooms or whatever. They have a designated area outside or whatever the case may be. You're not gonna be slick. Like, you're gonna get caught. Unless you thoroughly clean that shit, you're gonna get caught. Do not smoke in the rooms. Do not do any of that, because that also covers, you know, the incidental also covers that. If you wreck a room, beer bottles, alcohol bottles, ashes everywhere, blunt wrappers, whatever the case may be, you're not getting that incidental back. You're really not. You can dispute it, but if hotels have evidence that you were doing the shit, you're not getting that back. You could try to dispute it, but if they have evidence, you're not getting it back. It is what it is. You just gotta charge that shit to the game. Like, and a lot of people know that they're not supposed to do the stuff that they're doing. Listen, that little towel trick is not working. Niggas be knowing. So, please, I'm really gonna need y'all to do better with that. It's like, bro, either go outside and smoke, or smoke before y'all come, or whatever the case may be. But all the tricks that y'all be trying to do to prevent it or hide it or whatever, it's not gonna work. Another thing is, a lot of people travel. A lot of business people travel. They want to come to the hotel. They want to relax. If y'all start making noise or you know, playing music mad loud, people are gonna complain, because it's usually older people or people with children or whatever. It's all, every demographic that's coming to the hotel. Y'all partying at this hotel, I know for the most part, they'll tell me, listen, give their ass one strike, kick their ass out. Or people would be like, you know, give them 2 tries. Some people say 3. It all depends on your hotel and what you want to do. If you're a night auditor, you can pretty much do what you want. You can kick them out at the first instance. But I usually give people a warning. I'll be like, listen, bruh, you know you're not supposed to. I'll be cool with them. It's like, I'll be like, you know you can't do this. You know there's people sleeping here. If you don't lower it, I'm gonna have to escort you, my guy. Like, that's it. I'm gonna have to call the cops. I'm sorry. And I really don't be trying to do it to people, because I get it. But at the same time, it's like, bro, you know, we tell you to start checking. It's in the fine print and everything. Now, if you lose your room because y'all couldn't quiet the fuck down, that's not my motherfucking problem. I'm just going, I gotta do my job at the end of the day. Because what happens is, you know, the people are gonna keep complaining, and then it's gonna be a whole nother headache with them, because they're gonna be like, oh, well, da-da-da-da-da, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Yeah. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with any inconveniences on my shift. It's 11 to fucking 7 in the morning. Why the fuck are y'all doing this? Come on now. Just figure out a way to party or something. Or party when y'all out and come back and chill the fuck out or something. Because this shit be annoying, bro. I'd be like, God damn, what the fuck? And it'd be like 2, 3 o'clock. I'd be like, bro, all I wanted to do is just have a great night, a peaceful night. Now I gotta kick your asses out because y'all know how to fucking act. Come on. You got people bringing me down off the hook and shit. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And if you do it at a hotel that you know is not gonna give a fuck. Because, or a motel, something. Because it's not gonna work for me. But yeah, hopefully these tips work. These do's and these don'ts. I don't want to see this shit no more. I don't want to hear about Karens coming to the front desk either, or none of that shit, bro. We're doing our job. We're not benefiting in any type of way, shape, or form. If we're, you know, denying you any service because of your lack of knowledge about certain shit, because you know, failed to read the fine print and shit, we're just doing our jobs. Literally, just doing our jobs. So, If there's any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, please leave it in the comments below. Yeah, I might make another part, who knows, depending on if I see the dumb shit again. But bye, shy out this bitch. I'll see you in the next video.